Okay, here's the deal. I just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is really amazing. And for a couple of weeks now, I've been working on a project to use as the kind of celebration video. I put all this time into it. I recorded behind the scenes, all the stuff, and it just didn't work. I finally, after a lot of work, gave up on it. And I'm not going to tell you what that is because I may try to do it in the future sometime. So don't worry about that. This one is going to be about making a Rube Goldberg machine in my shop, using as many tools as I can in a day. So basically this is all going to happen tomorrow. I'm doing some planning now. I'm going to start putting together some mechanisms now, but it's going to go all throughout the shop. So it's going to start up in that corner. It's going to move across here and then across there, and I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty cool, but there's a lot to do on it and a lot of little things I haven't figured out. So I'm going to try to do behind the scenes for this one. Hopefully I'll be able to keep up with it. Yeah, let's do this. So the first idea here was to have the wheels roll down this track and hit the piece of wood and knock it into the planer, but they just don't hit it with enough force, they're not heavy enough. So now I'm gonna try hanging a hammer here right on the edge. It's just barely sitting on there. Hang it from a rope, and hopefully I can knock that off enough, which will give it enough momentum to hit this and start that into the planer. Okay, ready? It works. Let's try it again. Alright, and go. But I gotta make, it's gotta fall off to the side. Oh! Gotta be able to see it. There we go. It's perfect. Oh, it jumps out of the way. It's so good. So I haven't really explained what I'm doing exactly in detail, but basically this morning, well, so last night I started on that one track, and that didn't take very long because I was just using stuff that I had there, and I got to the planer part, and then since then everything's been this morning, and so I've gotten the rest of it set up, and I think everything is actually semi-functional in place, which is crazy to me that it happened this quickly. So now I'm gonna run the first test, and I'm not gonna do the planer because it's like the most problem-prone part of it. It's gonna be really hard to get the wood knocked in enough for the rollers to grab it. So I'm gonna wait on that, and I think I've got it set up to where it'll work, but I don't wanna have to redo that a bunch of times. So I'm just gonna start working backwards. I'm gonna do a test right after the planer and just see if everything else kind of works and start to weed out like where the failures are going to be. But so far everything is going really well, and it's like making me kind of giddy in that way that I laughed with the giant lightsabers a long time ago. It's making me feel like that. So let's do the first test. gonna be really hard to capture all of this. I'm gonna have to. There's a lot of points of failure here. Like, the things can fail and I can fail capturing it, so this is part of the practice. Okay, this is test number 1. Here we go. And this is gonna come through. Failure number 1. And this is gonna come through. Failure number 1. Had it. All right. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Okay, this is take 2. And action. Okay, I want to walk through like the steps so you can see all the mechanisms so nobody thinks it's fake. I don't know how I would do this with CG, but let's walk through it. So we're going to start out with, there's going to be 3 skate wheels up here that are stopped by a pin, a piece of wood, which is actually right there. It's attached to a string, so I can pull the string and it'll release the wheels. 3 wheels have enough weight to come down here, down this track, and they're kind of along this bead right here. And they come along and then they're going to hit this hammer, which will be just barely balanced on the end. Takes a little bit to find the spot. There we go. But anyway, once it hits, this will fall off, swing, and hit that piece of wood, which theoretically, this is the big potential point of failure, but theoretically it should hit it, knock it enough into the running planer that the first roller can grab it and start to pull it through. And it's gonna go like, I know it is, it's not gonna be smooth, but it's gonna pull it in, start pushing it through the planer. It's gonna come out the other side of the planer, go over here, hopefully will stay straight-ish, hit that piece, which is gonna start a domino. This one goes down and knocks the wheel just a little bit more onto this carriage, which sets it loose. It slides down here, which hits that piece of wood, which turns this on. It is in blow, not vacuum. So that hose back there goes up, and so it'll blow air out of that. There's a little piece of cardboard on top of there, and I'm gonna put some like confetti or something inside of it too. And it's gonna knock that off. So those 2 grinding discs are on a pulley, and they're gonna come down here kind of slowly. And when they get down here, they're gonna knock into that pencil. And when they knock that pencil out of the way, that wheel goes down here, and it hits that switch right there, which is plugged, where my lathe is plugged into, and it's turned on at its lowest speed in reverse, I think. So that will get turned on. Then this starts backing up, which pulls that string, which is currently not in its right position, but that pulls the string, which lifts this 2x4 up, and when that lifts up, that falls down onto the button. And I had to add this into the PVC pipe, so it had enough weight to actually hit that button to mash it. So this has to be turned on, ready to go, ready just to hit that button. Door's got to be open, exhaust has got to be running. All these pieces and the wheels and everything have to be set up. The planer has to be running. So, you know, no big deal. But I think I'm about ready to actually try it. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this is that the final shot's only going to take a few seconds, but there's a huge amount of time that I've put into like getting everything set up, and I have to practice. I have to do practice runs with the camera to make sure that I'm following the action and the camera is framed for the next shot or for the next piece of action. It's all one shot. So it's kind of weird that I have to like do this little dance and figure out where I need to be and where the camera needs to be pointing and how close it needs to be so I can get the next thing. For the most part, it's pretty easy, but it's tough when things are low and then the next action is high, like with the zip line. So I've actually got to do a lot of dancing practicing, which is something new for me. Okay, I think we're ready for the first run. Wish me luck. All right, here goes nothing. That was take 2, and it was perfect. It was flawless. Everything went perfectly. I had everything in frame, and I went back to watch the footage, and apparently I was so excited I forgot to hit record on the main camera. So, number 3. So I did finally get it. It was a lot of fun, a really cool project to do today. And it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. I'm really looking forward to having more space because I would love to do something like this on a way bigger scale and not have to necessarily work around like the room that I have. So maybe at 2 million we'll do a bigger one. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the behind the scenes stuff. I hope you liked it. Yeah, see you guys next time.